Did you know that there is about 1 kilogram of calcium in every person? Which part of your body do you think contains calcium? Click on the part of the body. Yes, more than 99% of the body's calcium is in the bones and teeth. In this unit, Did you know that there Batu Caves is a popular tourist attraction and is a place of worship for Hindus. Batu Caves is a limestone cave. What is limestone? We have learned about metal carbonates from previous lessons. Drag and drop the elements that form these metal carbonates. That is correct. Calcium carbonate consists of calcium, carbon, and oxygen. Calcium is a reactive metal. It can only be found as a natural compound called calcium carbonate. In nature, calcium carbonate is found in many forms. Which of these is a form of calcium carbonate? Yes, seashell is a form of calcium carbonate. Yes, stalactite is a form of calcium carbonate. Coral is a form of calcium carbonate. Yes, eggshells is a form of calcium carbonate. Stalagmite is also a form of calcium carbonate. Marble is a form of calcium carbonate. No, coal is not a form of calcium carbonate. No, gypsum is not a form of calcium carbonate. Let's find out the properties of calcium carbonate. Does calcium carbonate dissolve in water? Press Water is added to the calcium carbonate inside the test tube. Calcium carbonate does not dissolve in water. Does calcium carbonate react with acid? Press Start to see what happens. The lime water turns cloudy. Calcium carbonate reacts with acid to produce salt, water, and carbon dioxide. Does calcium carbonate react to heat? Press Start to The lime water turns cloudy. Upon heating, calcium carbonate breaks down to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide is released. What can you conclude about calcium carbonate? Calcium carbonate is insoluble in water. Calcium carbonate reacts with dilute acid to produce salt, water, and carbon dioxide. Upon heating, calcium carbonate breaks down to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide is released. Calcium oxide is also known as quicklime. So, what is limestone? Limestone is a form of calcium carbonate. The limestone of Butter Caves is about 400 million years old. It is one of the largest calcium carbonate mound in Southeast Asia. Using the clues given, complete this crossword puzzle. Press check. What gas is produced when calcium carbonate in calcium carbonate are calcium, oxygen, and carbon. The various forms of calcium carbonate include limestone, stalagmites, corals, seashells, eggshells, marble, and gypsum. Calcium carbonate is insoluble in water. Calcium carbonate reacts with dilute acid to produce salt, water, and carbon dioxide. Upon heating, calcium carbonate breaks down to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Calcium oxide is also known as quicklime. Take a look at this housing development site. They are painting the walls on these new houses with white chalk paint made from limestones. But how do they turn these solid limestones into watery paint? Recall from the previous lesson the effects of heat on calcium carbonate. Take a closer look at the product from that process. The white-colored solid is calcium oxide. It is also commonly known as quicklime. Calcium oxide is formed when calcium carbonate is heated. Upon heating, calcium carbonate breaks down to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. What happens when a few drops of water is added onto the quicklime? What do you observe? The red litmus paper turns blue. The white powder is calcium hydroxide. It is commonly known as slaked lime. Calcium hydroxide is formed and heat is released when water is added to calcium oxide. Calcium oxide reacts with water to form calcium hydroxide. What will happen when we add more water to calcium hydroxide? Calcium hydroxide partially dissolves in water to form calcium hydroxide solution, which is also known as lime water. We have learned that calcium carbonate reacts with heat to produce calcium oxide. Calcium oxide reacts with water to form calcium hydroxide. When more water is added to calcium hydroxide solution is formed. So, how do they turn solid limestone into whitewash? When limestone is heated, it turns into quicklime. Water is then added to quicklime to form slaked lime. The slaked lime is then dried and packed. On site, the slaked lime is mixed with water and salt to make whitewash. Let's play a game. Answer these questions correctly to help Ali turn the limestone to lime water. Can you correctly form the equation in words to show the reactions of calcium carbonate with dilute hydrochloric acid? Drag and drop the choices. Form the equation in words to show the reaction of calcium oxide with water. Drag and drop the choices. What will happen when water is added? Calcium oxide or quicklime is formed when calcium carbonate is heated. Calcium hydroxide or slaked lime is formed when water is added to calcium oxide. Ali consulted a doctor for his gastric pain. He was prescribed antacid to relieve the pain. How does antacid work? Let's recall the properties of calcium compounds. Drag and let's find out the many ways we use calcium compounds. Based on the photos of the uses of calcium compounds, identify if the product is a calcium carbonate, oxide, or hydroxide. Then, drag and drop the photo into the correct column. Mouse over the photo to listen to clues. The kitchen top is made of marble. We use limestones to make roads. Calcium carbide is used in acetylene lamp. Antacid can neutralize stomach acids. Antacid can neutralize stomach acids. Antacid can neutralize stomach acids. Plaster of Paris is used to mend broken bones. Plaster of Paris is used to mend broken bones. Plaster of Paris is used to mend broken bones. Sewage is treated with a soluble calcium compound. Sewage is treated with soil treatment compound for acidic soil. Soil treatment compound for acidic soil. Mortar is used in the construction of buildings. Mortar is used in the construction of buildings. How does antacid work? Antacids are made of calcium carbonate, which will neutralize the acids in Ali's stomach. Choose and click the photos that correctly show the usage of calcium compounds. That is correct. That is correct. That is correct. That is correct. That's not correct. That's not correct. That's not correct. Which of the following? In this lesson, you have learned that how are the properties of calcium compounds related to their uses? Calcium carbonate is hard and insoluble in water. It is used to make roads. Calcium oxide or quicklime is alkaline and slightly soluble in water. Calcium oxide is used in sewage treatment, production of carbide, and slaked lime. Calcium hydroxide or slaked lime is an alkaline and soluble in water. It is used to neutralize acidic soils, make mortar, concrete, and plaster for buildings. What are the elements? Click on one of the. What are the elements in calcium carbonate? Calcium carbonate is a compound which consists of calcium, carbon, and oxygen. What are the various forms of calcium carbonate? There are various forms of natural calcium carbonate around us. They include seashells, stalactites, coral, marble, gypsum, stalagmites, eggshells, limestone. What are the properties of calcium carbonate? Calcium carbonate is insoluble in water. Calcium carbonate reacts with dilute acid to produce salt, water, and carbon dioxide. Upon heating, calcium carbonate breaks down to calcium oxide and releases carbon dioxide. Calcium oxide is also known as quicklime. How are calcium oxide and calcium hydroxide formed? Calcium oxide or quicklime is produced when calcium carbonate is heated strongly. Calcium hydroxide or slaked lime is produced when a little water is added to calcium oxide. Calcium hydroxide solution or lime water is produced when more water is added to slaked lime. Can you correctly form the equation in words to show the reactions of calcium carbonate? When heated, calcium carbonate breaks down to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide is produced. When calcium carbonate is mixed with dilute hydrochloric acid, it changes to calcium chloride and water and carbon dioxide are produced. When water is added to calcium oxide, it changes to calcium hydroxide and heat is produced. How are the properties of calcium compounds related to their uses? Click on the photos to find out. Marble is hard and withstands heat. It can be used as kitchen tops. Slaked lime is alkaline. It can be used to neutralize acidic soil. Quicklime is soluble in water. This makes mortar. Slaked lime is soluble in water. It can be used to treat acidic soil. Calcium carbonate reacts with acid. This can neutralize acid in the stomach. Quicklime is soluble in water. The product is an alkaline that can treat sewage. Limestone is hard and insoluble. It can be used to make roads. Quicklime is used in making carbide. A common Southeast Asian pastime, especially among elder folks, is betel nut chewing. Did you know that the betel leaf is normally chewed with a dab of slaked lime? Find out what is the slaked lime made from. What is the taste of slaked lime? Why is slaked lime chewed together with the betel leaf? What are the long-term health effects of betel nut chewing? Based on what you've learned, calcium carbonate has many different uses. However, the following information is another interesting fact on how calcium carbonate can be used. In 2002, a team of researchers and medical experts from University Science Malaysia, USM, led by Dr. Suzina Sheikh Abdul Hamid and Professor Dr. Rani Samsudin, successfully invented artificial bone from corals. The artificial bone consists of 99% calcium carbonate and can be used to make artificial limbs called prosthetics. Find out the following and present your findings to the class. What do corals and bones have in common? Are the properties of artificial bones which are made from coral the same as real bones? Would artificial bones made from coral cause any health problems to the patient?